students, as we have started our third chapter, that is square and square root. Now we are having second topic as properties of square number. These properties will help you to do direct answers for some of the question. Fine. See the very first property in this. A square number always ends with either by 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. These will be the only digit at the ones place. But converse is not true. See, if you know the squares of 1 to 10, right? And you also know that any of the number is there. 3 digit, 5 digit, 7 digit or any other number is there. The number will have digits from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. These only digits can be there in the unit place, right? And the squares of 1 to 10 is written over here, right? So if the number is ending by 1, if the number is ending by 1, then its square will also end by 1. Is it fine? If the number is ending by 2, fine. If 62 is there and we want to find the square of 62, so what we will do? 62 multiplied by 62 you will do. That is 2 2s are 4, 6 2s are 12, right? Again 6 2s are 12, 6 6 are 36 plus 1 37. 4, 4, 8 and 3. You can see the number is ending by 4 because 2 is multiplied by 2, right? Ones place is multiplied by ones and the answer is 4. So the result, either if you are increasing the digits here, then also the number will always end by 4. So just see the square numbers from 1 to 10 is written over here. You all know square of 1 is 1, square of 2 is 4, square of 3 is 9, square of 4 is 16. So the number will end by 6. If square of 5 is there, so it will end by 5. Here 6, here 9. Just see the ones place, right? So if any number is ending by 4, means if the number is having 4 in the ones place, then square of that number will end by 6. Suppose I am saying 200, suppose 204 is there and you want to find the square of this number. So square of this number will end by which number? It will end by 6 because square of 4 is ending by 6. So square of this number will end by 6. Okay. So these are the digits. You can see what number we are having. 0. 0 is here. Then 1. 1 is here. 4. 4 is here. Right. 5. 5 is here. 6 and 9. You can see 6 and 9. No other digits you can see here. Right. And it is also saying, what do you mean by the second step for this? Second step is saying, but converse is not true. Means, it doesn't mean like, if I am writing, suppose I am writing 39. The number is ending by 9. Right? The number is ending by 9. So, it will be a square. No, it is not a square. If I am saying 144. Right? 144 is square of 12 and it is ending by 4. 4 is here. So, it is seen that a square number is always ending by 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. But converse is not true means any number which is ending by these digits will be a square number. No. Is it clear? Fine? Okay. Second property is a number having 2, 3, 7 or 8 at its unit place is never a square number. Means any number which is having 2, 3, 7 or 8 at the ones place or unit place is never a square number. Suppose it has been asked like 342 is a square number or not. So you have seen that 2 is there in the ones place. So it will never be a square number. If number is like 427, right? So it is having 7 in the unit place. So you know that number ending by these digits are never a square number. And I want to recall you again back, as in the previous first property, you have seen that any number which is ending by 4, any number which is ending by 4, we cannot say that it is a perfect square or not. it may be. You will get maybe it can be a square number. ये possible. It is possible that this may be a square number, right? As 784 is a perfect square number. And if I am saying 84, so it is again ending by 4, but this is not a square number, although it is ending by 4, but this is a square number. So in this, if the number is ending by 4 or 9 or 6 or 5, like these digits what we are having in the one place, we will say maybe it can be a square number, means chance is there to be the number a square number. But if the number is ending by these digits, then it is sure that these numbers are not a square number. It is a confirmed case. Okay. Now third property. A number ending in an odd number of zeros is never a perfect square. See, if I am having 10, square of 10 will be equal to how much? 100, right? If 1 0 is there and if I am doing the square, so I will have 2 0 in the answer, in the square number. If I am having suppose 200, right? And I need to find the square of 200. I need to find the square of 200, then 2 2s is 4 and 2 zeros are there. So I will have now 4 zeros. So every time the number of zeros will be double. If 1 0 is there, so in the answer I am having 2 0. If 2 zeros I am having, so it will be 4 zeros. If I am having 3 0, so it will end by 6 0. So in every square number, the number of zeros will be even in number. It will not be odd. Hence, a number ending in odd number of zeros is never. Yes. Now fourth property, squares of odd natural numbers are odd and squares of even natural numbers are even. You can see here, I am having number like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These are odd numbers and squares of odd numbers are 1, 9, 25, 49, 81. These are all odd. So squares of odd natural numbers are odd and squares of even numbers are even. So question like for example, we are having the question like a question has been asked, what is the number 243 is there, and square of 243 is odd or even. So this number is odd, so its square number will also be odd. If the number is given 144 and square of 144 will be an even number because it is an even number. So this is direct questions. Okay. Now see some interesting pattern. Some interesting patterns on the basis of squares are there. On the basis of this, direct questions are there. So see very first pattern, numbers between consecutive square numbers. Two consecutive square numbers are there. So what are the numbers between two consecutive square numbers? So what is the rule here? There are 12 non-square numbers between the squares of two consecutive numbers and n plus 1. See, consecutive number means what? If 2 is there, so what is the next number to this? 2 and 3 are consecutive numbers, right? And the question is saying how many non-square numbers lie between the square of 2 and square of 3. So number between square of 2 and square of 3. So according to this rule, what is n? N is 2, right? N is 2 and n plus 1. Next consecutive number is what? 3. So number of non-square numbers should be non-square numbers between 2 square and 3 square. Between 2 square and 3 square, how many non-square numbers should be there? It should be equal to 2 into n. 2 into n, and what is n here? 2. So that should be 2 into 2, that is 4. Let's check how. See, what is the square of 2? 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. And we need to find the number between this. So how you will find number between this? How many numbers are between 4 and 9? That will be equal to what? 9 minus 4 and minus 1. You know how to find the number between this? That will be equal to 9 minus 4 is how much? 5, and 5 minus 1 is 4. You can check also. See what number will lie between 4 and 9. It will lie, 5 will lie, 6 will lie, 7 will lie, and 8 will lie. These all are non-square numbers which are lying between 4 and 9. So this pattern you have to see. Any two consecutive numbers are given, then how to find? Only direct method is there. See one more example for this. See, if a question has been asked, you suppose question has been asked, how many non-square numbers are lying between 15 square and 16 square? Right? If numbers are big, then it is difficult to find the numbers. So many numbers are there. So best method is if n is 15 and n plus 1 is 16. Consecutive numbers are there. So how many non-square numbers will be lying between square of 15 and square of 16? Non-square number. Directly you can find that will be equal to 2n, right? And 2. What is n here? Here n is 15. So how many numbers will be there? 30 numbers will be there, which are non-square numbers between 15 square and 16 square. Okay. See second one, adding odd numbers. Right. See 1 is equal to 1. If I have taken the odd numbers, consecutive odd I am taking. 1 plus 3 is how much? 4. Then 1, 3, 5 are consecutive odd. So 1 plus 3 plus 5 is how much? 9. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 16. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 is how much? 25. See the pattern here. What is 1? 1 is, you can say that it is the square of 1. What is 4? It is the square of 2. What is 9? It is the square of 3. 16 is the square of 4. And 25 is the square of 5. Right? So, what this pattern is telling you, sum of first n odd numbers is n square. See, if I have taken only one number, so 1 is equal to 1. If I have taken two odd numbers, so that is the square of 2. The sum is equal to the square of 2. If I have taken 3 consecutive odd numbers and I have added, so that will be equal to 3 numbers I have taken consecutive, so that is square of 3. If I have taken 4 consecutive odd numbers, so that is square of 4. So number that depends on how many odd numbers I have taken, consecutive odd numbers I have taken and added it, so its square will be equal to n square. If n odd numbers I have taken and I have sum of first n odd numbers, then its square sums equal to n square. Also, you can see that if a natural number cannot be expressed as a sum of successive odd numbers starting from 1, then it is not a perfect square. See, now for example 8 is there and we have to check it is a perfect square number or not. So what we'll do? We'll do subtraction of odd numbers. 8 minus 1 is how much? 7. Then again 7 minus. After 1, what is the consecutive odd number? After 1 is coming 3. So 7 minus 3 is how much? 4. Again 4 minus how much? After 3 what will come? 5. So it is minus 1. So we are not getting 0. If the answer is ending by 0, then it will be a perfect square number. See one more example. If you are having a number 9, see for 9. If you are having 9 and we have subtracted, we have to check. We don't know that 9 is a perfect square number, right? So 9 minus 1 is how much? 8. Then 8 minus 3 is how much? 5. 5 minus 5 is how much? 0. So, hence, if we are subtracting, we are doing the successive subtraction of odd numbers and we are getting the answer ending by 0, then that number will be a perfect square. If the answer is ending by 0, then the number will be a perfect square. If the answer we are getting is not 0, if we are getting a negative number, then it is not a perfect square number. Hence, if a natural number cannot be expressed as the sum of a successive odd number starting from 1, then it is not a perfect square number. Okay? Yes. Now see the third point. We can express the square of any odd number greater than 1 as the sum of two consecutive natural number. Means any odd number which is greater than 1, square of that number. can be expressed as the sum of two consecutive numbers. For example, see, if you are having 3, 3 is the odd number which is greater than 1, square of 3 is equal to how much? 9. And we can write 9 as the sum of two consecutive natural number as this will be equal to 4 plus 5. So, square of any odd number can be expressed as the sum of two consecutive natural number. Similarly, you can see for 5 square. How much is 5 square? That is 25. Right? And 25 can be written as the sum of two consecutive number like 12 plus 13. Right? Similarly, you can have 7 square. 7 square is how much? 49. And this can be written as sum of two number like 24 and 25. Now, right? You can see any odd number square can be written as the sum of two consecutive natural number. Now, question will come how you will get two consecutive number. Okay. Now, suppose you are having the odd number like 21 square. What is 21 square? That is 441. Right? So, how to get the two numbers which should be consecutive, and when we sum up, then that should be equal to 441. So, what we have to do? We just have to divide the number by 2. Divide the number by 2. What you will get? 2 2 is 4. Again 4. 2 2 is 4. And then 1, and you got here 0. And you know, any number we are taking, what number we are taking? We are taking the odd numbers. And odd number square is always odd. And when odd number is divided by 2, always the remainder is 1. Right? So, whatever number we are having as the square number, we just have to divide it. And whatever quotient we are getting, what quotient we are getting here? 220. So, first number will be the quotient. So, first number is 220. And after 220, what will come? 221. Right? See one more example. If you are having the odd number like 13, 13 square is how much? 169. Right? And now you have to divide 169 by 2 to get the first number. Whatever quotient you will get, see, when you divide 169 by 2, what you will get? 2 8s is 16 and 2 4s is 8. 84. And what is the next number after 84? That is 85. So these are the two consecutive number. When you will add up, you will get 169. Okay. Now see 4th point. Square of numbers with unit digit 5. Like any number we are having which is ending by 5, square of that number. Then one system is there. Suppose you are having the number as 25. The number is ending by 5. So square of 25 will be equal to what? Whatever is there in the just before the ones place. Ones place is 5. So you have to add it by 25. The ending will be plus 25, right? And what is a and a plus 1? Whatever is number before 5. Whatever is number before 5, that is a. So what is a here? Here is 2. Just what is before 5? That is 2. So 2 multiplied by 2 plus 1. What is 2 plus 1? 3. Dash hundreds. Plus 25. That means we are having 2 into 3. Right? 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 2s is 6. 600 plus 25. So your answer is 625. See one more example. If you are having the number like 45 square, you have to find. So what number is before 5? That is 4. And what is the next consecutive number for 4? That is 5. 4 into 5, hundreds. Plus 25. That is 4 5s is how much? 20. And 20 100 means 2000. So 20 100 plus 25 means 2000 plus 25 is how much? 2025. That is 2025. Similarly, if you are having the number like 125 square, Then also whatever number is before 5, what is here? 12. So 12 into 13, hundreds plus 25. 25 is fixed. Okay, and whatever number is there, that number before 5 and the consecutive number to it. 12 into 13 you will get as 156. Then hundreds, so the number will be ending by 25. So 15625 will be the answer for 125 square. Okay, Pythagorean triplet. See, three numbers A, B, C are said to form a Pythagorean triplet ABC if A square plus B square is equal to C square. As the name itself, you remember the Pythagoras theorem. So in that, what is the scene? Square of two numbers will be equal to the square of the third number. Like we have done with the perpendicular square plus base square is equal to hypotenuse square. Same here. Three numbers are such that square of first number plus square of second number is equal to square of the third number. Then the three numbers in a set is said to be a Pythagorean triplet. Now, see, for any natural number, one system has been identified for that. For any natural number, m is greater than 1. We have 2m square plus m square minus 1 the whole square is equal to m square plus 1 the whole square. If you will open and you will see that these two sides are equal, you will get this square of this plus square of this will be equal to the square of this number. So, hence we got three numbers. We got three numbers such that 2m, this is 2m, first number is 2m, second number is m square minus 1 and third number is m square plus 1. These three numbers are a set of numbers such that it is following the Pythagorean triplet because square of this number plus square of this number is equal to the square of m square plus 1. Okay. Now, for example, 3, 4 and 5. See. 3 and 4 and 5 are Pythagorean triplet or not? See, 3 square plus 4 square. What is the value of 3 square? That is 9. What is the value of 4 square? That is 16. And 9 plus 16 is how much? 25. Right? So, which is again equal to 5 square. So, we got 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 square. So, these three numbers are Pythagorean triplet. Same here, you can see for the 6 square is how much? 6 6 is 36. 8 square is how much? 8 8 is 64. And 10 square is equal to 100. So you know that if we add these two, you will get 100. Hence, 6 square plus 8 square is equal to 10 square. So this is also forming a Pythagorean. Yes. Now see. Some question based on Pythagorean triplet. Which type of question you will get? Write a Pythagorean triplet whose one number is 12. See the first part. If one of the number is 12, you know the pattern what I told you. That was we are having 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1. Right? So if I got a even number, then what we will think? We will think for the number. If I am having the even number, then I will think we can suppose that number as 2m. Or one thing more is there, if even number is there, but that is the predecessor or successor of any square number, then we will suppose these two terms. Let's see for this, because 12 is a number which is not having it, which is not a successor or predecessor of a square number. So we will suppose let 2m is equal to 12. Okay. So what value you will get for m, which implies m is equal to how much? 12 divided by 2 will give you 6. So m, we got the value for m. Now second value what we have to find? I need to get the value for m square minus 1. So m square minus 1. M square is how much? 6 square minus 1. 6 square is how much? 36. 36 minus 1 is how much? 35. So I got the value for m square minus 1. Right? Then again, what is the third value I need? I need m square plus 1. So that will be again 6 square plus 1. That is 6 is the 36 plus 1, that is 37. So I got the value for m square plus 1. And now in just a simple bracket, we'll write these three terms. What is the first term? That is 12. 2m is 12. What is m square minus 1? M square minus 1 is 35. Second term is 35 and m square plus 1 is 37. So this is the Pythagorean triplet I got for the given number as 12. See the second one. Second part, you are having the number as 17. 17 is which type of number? 17 is a successor of a square number because 16 is a square number and after 16, 17 is coming. So what I suppose? I suppose m square plus 1 because this is a successor. So m square plus 1 is equal to 17. It is a successor of a square number. So I suppose m square plus 1 equal to 17. From here, I'll get the value for m. See how? M square is equal to 17 minus 1. That will be 16. M square is 16 and so I got the value for m is equal to 4. Right? Then, if I got the value for m, then what I need to get? I need to get the first value that is 2m. So 2m is equal to how much? 2 into 4. That is 8 and m square plus 1 I am already having. Now I need to find m square minus 1. So what is m square? 4 square minus 1. Right? Then 4 square that is 16. 16 minus 1 is how much? 15. So m square minus 1. So in the sequence I will write the three terms. Which three terms I am having? First is 2m that is 8. Second is m square minus 1, so that is 15. And third is m square plus 1, 17. Hence, this is the Pythagorean triplet or required Pythagorean triplet. Okay. Then see the third part also. If you got the number as 24. What is 24? 24 is a predecessor of a square number because 25 is a square number and just before 25, 24 is coming. So I'll suppose for the third part, let m square minus 1 because this is the predecessor of a square number. So I'll suppose 24 as m square minus 1. So I'll get the value for m square here as 24 plus 1 will give you how much? 25 and m is equal to how much? 5. Now m value I am having, so I will get the value for 2m. That is the first term. So 2m is equal to 5 2s are 10. So 10 I got, right? Then m square minus 1 I am already having. I need to get the value for m square plus 1. So that is equal to how much? M square is 25 and plus 1. So that is 26. Right? So I got the value for m square plus 1 also. Hence, what Pythagorean triplet I got? 2m. First term is 2m. So first number is 10. Then m square minus 1. So that is 24. And third is m square plus 1. That is 26. So this is the required Pythagorean triplet. Okay.